Hello! Hi there! Welcome on in, class! It's me, Lailaps! I'm the isekai protagonist that summoned Little Hound. I swear, these advertisements always hit at the worst time. It's like, it'll be at this time. And then it waits like 30 seconds to a minute before actually playing them. It's a terrible system, and I'm really mad about it. So I'm gonna do my whole intro again as soon as this ad ends. There it goes. Hello, welcome on in, everyone. Welcome. Hi. My name is Lailaps. I'm gonna be your teacher today. That's why I've got these specs on, so I can look particularly teachery. And yeah, you know, I'm in a bit of a transitional state. Um, yeah, normally I'd be like, I'm an isekai heaven hound, but I might be dropping the heaven hound part. I might be moving on from that. I mean, I'm not 100% sure yet. I like being a puppy, and that's fine. But the heaven hound part isn't gonna work for me for much longer. It's complicated, but I have my reasons. Spiritual reasons, funny enough. But, yeah, so, I don't know, I might just take out the halo and go from there. But how is everyone today? How are you all doing? Let me know how you are. And also, I see your redeem, Captain Gazpacho. As soon as you want your reading, let me know. And I will go ahead and I will try to read your energy body. I would like to ask, though, what particularly you want me to read. Because I think last time I read your fate level, I'm curious, do you want me to read your spirit level? Your fae connections to like emotions and stuff? Machine elf realm, your higher realm stuff, like your connections to gods and such. Let me know what kind of read you want to get. Otherwise, I don't have a lot of guidance, and I'm trying not to nuke my third eye on this stuff. If I go too hard, I might end up giving myself a headache. Mm-mm. But yeah, if you know what you want read, if not, I'll just kind of randomize it and I'll pick one. Connection to gods, excellent. Okay. Whew, give me a moment. And yeah, everybody go ahead and let me know how your day is if you wanna share a little. And then and I'll respond when I'm done doing this read. Okay. Whew. Having a little tough time getting this going, but we're gonna do it. Back, love. Okay. Well, alright, I'll give you what I kind of saw as best I can here. Mm-hmm. So after taking a moment to try and read that out, sorry if I was quiet for a little bit, I had to concentrate. I saw a big, very poofy dress. It was very, like, large, voluminous, of a very big lady who looked kind of like an angel, maybe with a lot of wings. Her arms kind of outstretched very wide. She was very big. I had to take, like, kind of a spiritual step back to see. Seemed very powerful. Seemed, if not actually angelic, definitely pseudo-angelic in nature is what I'm seeing, which seems ironic since I just talked about getting rid of this halo, but that's kind of what I was able to scope out on it. Big divine lady energy. That's what I got. I don't know if it is definitely in the... Feels a little on the Christian side. Pog, love the glasses. Thank you, SFR Cloudy. Hi. Welcome on in. Welcome. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we are kind of just opening right up on, these are open lessons. These are lessons with Lailaps. Any kind of magic stuff people want to talk about. Any kind of, things you're curious. I'm here for it. I've had a pretty long week. I'm very tired. But I want to be here to kind of communicate. And I'm going to be very open, I think, today on some things. As kind of some of the examples of stuff I might get into a little bit. So I've had a lot of mental health stuff come up recently. And some of it's kind of freaked me out. Like, let's see here. Oh, we're gonna have to do one of those quick, a little reporting block, a little quick one. Not that it'll do much, but Put it in blocked. Okay, so what was I thinking about? Mental health. So some very intense spiritual stuff went down recently. I'm not gonna go into all the details, although, catch me on Discord. I think at some point I'm going to have just some open Discord sessions just to be able to talk to people in real time and cover stuff. But, what's the best way to put this? So, I may have suffered a great deal of trauma in my life. More than I realize. Some of it's trauma from being a trans girl in a relatively intolerant environment. Some of it is trauma from being an autistic girl in a relatively difficult to maneuver society. Not surprised my connection to the divine involves an angelic MILF. Laugh my ass off. It's a big lady. She wasn't like, fat. She's just very large. And also, I want to say, when I say, like, I don't know if I would say she was, like, super duper, milfy. She just big. And I mean on the spiritual, she had a lot of power kind of sense. I think she had multiple wings, which was interesting. But yeah, big arms open wide, big light behind her kind of deal. So, anyhow, yeah. So, all those little different trauma points seem to have maybe caused some kind of fragmentation in bits of my personality. Um, a lot of my drive and willpower had kind of left me in the last couple years, and then suddenly I kind of felt almost a lever in my head, and I clicked it over, and it all came back. It was like a big part of myself I'd lost, and been doing that in a kind of discovery type fashion of parts of myself I've lost, and so I've been kind of piecing myself back together, but not just like together, but also a little separate. I may have multiple personalities. In fact, I can say as a definite, I have multiple personalities, but we're all kind of united on the whole. We are all me, and we are all kind of for working together, getting together, healing our traumas. And whether I end up as a multi-me or one unified me, I don't really care as long as we are all happy and healthy together. And it's okay, however it goes. So I'm walking through it, I'm working through it, and it has been TM a lot. I have been extra tired. Also working on coming out at work. I think hiding who I am has done me a lot of damage, and I need to do less of it. How much less? I don't know, but less. So at this point, yeah, that's kind of my journey. Thank you. Hi, Maelstrom. Hi, lurkity. I gotta do like the glasses because I'm teaching. I need my hot teacher glasses. Am I cute? I need to know. I think these are pretty cute. Sorry if I jump scared anybody. I do kind of like to attack the screen a little bit. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I also want to talk about the streams I've been doing. Oh, you didn't know I could do that? Oh, let me put the pause back up. I love them. Look how cute it is. Hello, how are you? How are your friends? Oh, good friends. I hope so. I love you. Yeah, it's fine. It's fun to do. Okay, I need to get my paws off the screen. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So, my stream's coming back. You may have or may not have noticed a certain thematic, a certain theme coming in, huh? One of the things I've been up to. Oh, I'm glad you enjoy it, your clarity. I have to remember to do more of that. But, one of the things I have been doing. If you notice, my first stream back was full throttle. And then after that, I did a Chaos Magic stream. And then one, I believe, on getting in touch with spiritual selves. And I did the one so I did a lot of magic stuff, but I have roughly been following the course of the tarot. So I did a full stream. The full is number 0. And then I did a magician stream, a high priestess stream, a empress stream, an emperor stream, and this is the Hierophant. And Hierophant, one of the meanings is teaching. And so right now I want to be teaching. But I've been doing this specifically because I kind of look at every stream I do as a place where I will get on here and I will be altering my state of consciousness to be a good entertainer doggo for you. And come on here and try to, with intent, impart mystical knowledge for the purpose of your education, but also for my own transformation. I am doing a cycle as a way of developing myself, and what my hope is that by following this cycle, it may allow those who are viewing this to also do a level of self-transformation, to allow everyone to kind of advance forward in a spiritual fashion. So, yeah, we're on the Hierophant and I'm teaching right now. I didn't know? Yeah, that's what's up. So right now we are on the Hierophant, and that's why I'm trying to do education. So if you have any questions, please ask. This is going to be very open. I don't have any planned lessons during this. Though, if we like, I may go to the very basics on a lot of things. Although I did cover a lot of the basics of magical action in my Chaos Magic stream. My mouth is a little tired. Not sure why. Maybe I haven't talked enough. Maybe I'm talking too much. Maybe I just need more water. Let me make sure I haven't missed any redeems. Not good. But if we were to go to basics, for people interested in the basics, there are a lot of I find myself curious about your perspective on working with dark things. Oh, yeah. I just got gifted the Fantod Pack deck by Edward Gore and was asked the day before reading about an omen. Okay, so let's talk about dark and light, which is a little different. Now I'm going to go with those just because I think everybody can kind of get on board with that metaphor. I'm going to get a little ways back, which is of course different than good and evil. I am going to put it this way. Good and evil doesn't leave any room for wiggle, right? There's no liminality to it. It's a definite, it is black and white worldview. And I will say it's extremely limiting to have that worldview. If you eat a food and you don't like it, is the food good or bad? Truth is, it's neither. It's neither good nor bad. It's not the food is evil because you don't like it. Your tongue ain't suited to it. Maybe it's not suited to your metabolism, your nutritional needs, but that doesn't mean that food wouldn't serve excellent purpose for someone whose tongue does. And it's funny to me that some people who are a bit on the good, bad, good, evil kind of train will sign on so quick to judging an opinion as wrong, instead of seeing that simple inherent truth. Like, as an example, dog food might be good for me. I don't know, I could eat some dog food probably. But it's not good and healthy for most of us. We don't have that predator balance. We don't process acid that way. So, because it's a little more acidic food than what our bodies will really like most of the time. So, keeping that thought in mind. But dog food good for dog, not good for person. So a lot of things are about where you're standing. Now, there are a lot of dark deities. And we're going to get into deities, I think, because it's a little easier to understand this. A lot of divine things that some people would be like, oh gosh, I'm scared. I could never work with, let's say Hades. Let's go with Hades. Why not? I have other go-to examples, but this is the one I'm going to use today. So a lot of times people go, underworld god, they must be evil, they must be a monster. And it's like, no. That's silly. No, their job is just realm of the dead, the underworld. That's their job. It's what they do. It's their cosmic role. So is the afterlife a bad thing? Is death a bad thing? Well, yeah, on a very, quick, limited basis, sure. But like on the whole of it, it's just part of everything. It's part of the whole. When we move beyond the temporal, we can kind of see the value in it. And I do think that depending person to person, that darkness is something that a lot of people have a hard time dealing with. Hades is chill as fuck, madam. After I tried to pull an Achilles, let's say, Gazpacho, you're getting up to a lot of trouble. But I'm glad that they are chill as fuck with you. It's good. It's good. But somebody just had to do the job in order for suck down death. Yeah, that. Yeah. So like, I would say there's a whole thing of there's a lot of dark gods. Dark gods generally deal with more difficult concepts for us as limited human beings, like death, like darkness, like terror and fear and disease, and there's a lot of dark things, but often they play their role. Like I said, Hades isn't really bad. Even a lot of the chaos gods, the things that are older and more primal, and often, because I think a lot of mythology forms this way. I'm gonna kind of run different direction to run back to this one. I'm playing fetch with the ideas. Back, what? When it comes to a lot of these ideas, I've found that a lot of times the dark primal gods are the ones that deal with the more out there concepts, the more wild things. And this is because as tribal cultures, we dealt with a lot more of nature. The god of, war isn't important if you've never had a war, but the god of lightning, of animals that are going to eat you, those gods are important to appease. The god who gives you food, that's an important god. But if you don't have like a lot of civilization, some of those more lofty, more humanoid gods weren't necessary. But once you move to that civilization, oh yeah, definitely. But once you move to a state of civilization, and I'm going to put that in big quotations, once you hit the state of empire, a lot of times the religious view and the kind of gods you promote are ones that promote and or allow for an empire to rise and flourish. I think it went, Persephone led me to him in the palace of the underworld, and this man was literally eating lunch, was just like, you're pretty interesting, you can go home now. That's amazing. It's incredible. I love it. I love that so much. It's so good. Sometimes it's that casual. Sometimes it is that casual. But going into this whole primordial dark gods versus newbie light gods, a lot of times, yeah, I'm pretty sure what happened is that the conquering force in an area starts eating up the smaller tribes around it, and those gods that are wild and uncontrolled become demonized, or otherwise become the dark old gods. And then the other gods are the bright, shiny, new, city-approved, state-approved gods that are there that you're allowed to worship, right? Because that's what allows for empire. And you'll notice in all the major religions, one of the things they do is they create good citizens. I'm putting that in quotations too. Because I would say they are conqueror religions and not necessarily warrior religions. Because what does Christianity do? It tells you that your life now isn't important, your life in the next life is important. And what do? Obey. Obey, 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 obey. Render to Caesar what is Caesar's. Obey. Do as you are told. Look up at these giant edifice churches, be afraid, and do what we tell you. Because that's your role in life. God is for kings, and kings are for men. So that was the medieval setup on a lot of that. Churches were meant to evoke awe, fear, etc. Um, and of course, that lets you build empire, because if the peasants do what you tell them to, and the kings get to do whatever they freaking want, except for they have to listen to the church, then it all works out for the big empirical organization. And the same kind of things have happened in other cultures, in like Mongolian culture, apparently. I think it was Mongolian. I'm not 100% sure. In Asia, just terrible. China, main continent Asia, and I am going to screw this up, and I apologize immediately. New toy syndrome on the scale of civilizations and deities, a little bit. But when you get towards that level of when they started getting to a certain level of empire, they started making wild shamanism illegal. You could not be a shaman and practice by literally doing what actual shaman is. You literally were not allowed to just talk to the spirits and do what they tell you and work with them. They had more state-sponsored shamans who probably didn't talk to spirits and mostly did ritual, because it was about obedience, right? It was about towing the party line, being part of the big conquering force, and having a spirit that might suddenly go, this king is butts, this king sucks, heck with this dude. Or, you know what real freedom is? Not doing that. Nobody wants that kind of competition if they're trying to be a fascist, trying to conquer people. So they find ways to get rid of those kind of religions, the ones that are wild and free, and replace them with ones that make you into a good, nice, conquered subject that does whatever they want. Same could be said with caste systems. I think so much of Hinduism is wonderful and beautiful, but caste systems are disgusting. Sorry, that is another way to put people in their place and tell them what to do and not allow them freedom. I am very pro-freedom. I do not like labels that limit people. I like labels that inspire people, that free them up to be their greatest selves. And so, when we get to dark gods, I think a lot of times the dark gods are the ones who are primal, free, natural, and wild. And when you come to empire, they are afraid of what they can't control. So big, scary monster animals, those tend to be a lot of those dark gods. I think they're 100% legitimate to work with, because before empire, we did. And still, even with empire, a lot of times those dark gods were worked with. Norse religion talks about, there's a lot of modern Norse heathen practitioners who will start poo-pooing on various Jotun and giant gods and Loki's kin. And the thing is we've found evidence, physical evidence of their worship. There's a cave dedicated to Surtur where they made offerings to propitiate the giant fire god. Probably to keep him from lighting everything on fire, but the point is they did it. And if we see it in one case, that means it almost certainly happened in other cases too. So sitting there and going, oh no, they never did that, it's like you're freaking wrong. If you look at the legends, there's so many fun ones, so many good stories about Loki. There's no way this guy did not get his share of followers, because come on. It's too good of a character, there's too much interesting about him. Now, I get the feeling that Loki was very important to a conquered group, and then it kind of syncretized, but over time, Loki got demonized more and more, probably to control. But this is all theory. I can't say all this for certain. We don't have all the proof. A lot of the stories we have are just preserved poetry because of one monk who just wanted to preserve poetry. I can't say for certain. But I will say that I've worked with some gods that are considered dark, like Jormungand, the world serpent. I have done a great deal of ritual with him. well, they, to be fair, because they have like kind of all pronouns and none, because they're kind of a big superliminal hyper snake. Um, I've worked with Loki. I've worked with a lot of Echidna's brood from Greek mythology, which if you look back into their ancestry, it goes back to Keto and Phorcys, I think it is, Phorcys. Both of whom are deities. They are big monster deities, but they are still deities. And so that's all divine blood all the way down. So those are gods. They may be monster gods, but they're still gods. Um, and yeah, like, I think it's fine to work with those things. What I do not think is good is having the wrong intentions going in. Some people are like, yeah, like I'm gonna be a little bit of a gremlin, get up close. And they're just like, yeah, I got a chip on my shoulder. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go work with the demon. And then they're gonna make everyone pay. And get all evil about it. But what's the problem there? Is it that those deities are dark? Or, shocker, it's that this person is a butthole who has bad intentions, right? Right! They're just being a jerk. They're like literally looking for, kind of morally corrupt variety of, entity in the hopes of doing bad things. What flavor of chip is on your shoulder? Oh my god, casual call. You're asking the hard questions. But these are lessons with Lailaps, so I'm ready to tackle them. The flavor of chip on my shoulder is almost certainly a Dorito. Yum, 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 yum. Delicious. Welcome on in. I know with the evolution of the Abrahamic religions, it started with like a Canaanite religion where you had the father god El, who had children who were the gods like Baal, and a certain metallurgy god that gained a cult, turning him into a storm war god that put him above the others. Then came the omnipotence part. She also had Baal becoming demonized, even though they were just a fertility god and just all of that. Yeah. If you look at a whole bunch of them, oh my god, we're getting raided! Hello, Raiders! Brave! Welcome on in, Papa Brave! Welcome! Hello, everyone! Welcome on in! Hope y'all having a wonderful day. For those who do not know me, my name is Lailaps. I am, for the moment, Having Hound. That's right, I'm a doggo. I'm a doggo of divine, imports and stuff. Hold on, let me see if I can get my tail going. Where's my tail? Is it here? Oh, there it is. Huh? Yay! Yeah, hi everyone. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Today we are talking a whole bunch about occult topics. Lessons with Lailaps. Anything you got a question on modern magic, mythology, chaos magic, paganism, modern witchcraft, what have you, go ahead and ask your questions. Papa Brave, what were you up to today? How are you doing? What's going on? I gotta give you that shouting out. I'm rusty, Papa Brave. You're obviously very brave, showing up in the audience, and I really appreciate everyone. I hope y'all having a wonderful day. I'm gonna click a button. I'm gonna see here real quick. Wow. It did not take me where I thought it was gonna take me. Mm-hmm. Bark. Woof. Huh. Oh, your model looks so cool. Holy moly. Oh, that looks so good. VTuber, lore junkie, and stupid decisions extraordinaire. Join you for art, games, and game design. Cool. Welcome on in once again. I am hearing very little from you, but I hope you had a great time. And we're gonna kind of continue on. If you're interested, you can take a look at my redeems. I have got energy body readings. If that's something that interests you, I will open up my third eye, take a look, tell you what I see. Oh, the dog clickers, no, you don't need to play with that. It won't do anything. It's worthless. Don't worry about it. What else do we got here? But also, where is it? Where's my stuff going? Hey, come on, little surprise. What is it? What is it? What am I doing? Okay. I've regained control. I'm all right. Unless you want me to I'm open to the idea. A little bit of a command, maybe. Thank you for doing. So, we were talking about the basics of magic and a little bit on the idea of dark deities and how dark are they? What are they like? How do we judge these things, etc. And yeah, that's what we were topically kind of talking about at this moment. Let's see here. I have gotten so little response from you, probably, but please hope you're having a good day. Now what do we want to talk about? Back. Probably gonna hit just a little more on what am I missing here? Yeah, so that is an interesting thing that happened with the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn and the Lesser Key of Solomon. So the Lesser Key of Solomon is a book that has a bunch of demons in it that people would summon up. However, the origin of the name of these demons was not biblical in nature for the most part. Most of it comes out of a bunch of different mythologies that they just kind of file names of various gods as demon suddenly and assign them roles. A lot of them exist prior to this Lesser Key of Solomon existing. Now, the mythical belief of the Key of Solomon, both lesser and greater, was that King Solomon the Wise used special secret magical arts to bind spirits and use them to build his temple. And that this lesser and greater key is the passed down wisdom of these things that allow exorcists, because that is a term they use, to essentially summon up these demons and then use holy god power to then boss them around and make them do stuff. A lot of that sorcery follows a very simple format. That simple format is essentially prayers. And this is why they call them an exorcist, because they're like, you must inflame yourself with faith. And so they would pray, and their prayers would often go like this before they did their magic. Oh Lord, I really want to do some magic today. I hope you are super duper good with that, totes. I would totes love to do some magic today, as long as you approve it. So, if you don't want me to do magic, please, oh Lord, give me a sign. And if you don't give me a sign, I'm gonna go ahead and do the magic. But if you don't want it to happen, you know what, just shut that down, God, because I don't want to do anything you don't want me to do. But if you're okay with me doing magic, then I'm gonna do the magic. Work and it'll be great. Yours is the power forever. Your biggest fan, Freighter, Freighter British guy. XOXO. I don't know. Thanks, bye, amen. That's kind of the way that goes. I've read a tiny piece of the Testament of Solomon. Pretty interesting stuff. So, That is a lot of how Solomonic magic in the Greater Key of Solomon works. And the thing is, the Greater Key of Solomon is a little bit more about magic you do yourself. It is a little more on your spiritual development, trying to make yourself into a strong, faithful, powerful exorcist, capable of a small amount of magic. The Lesser Key of Solomon is almost all about summoning demons, in which case, some of the elements of this I do not recommend trying at home, although there are people who would, and I would say if you have any amount of Christian baggage, you got to work on that before you have any business dealing with this. And then even if you do, I don't recommend it because I already talked about the fact of you're essentially using God power to torture demons to do your work. Do you really expect to have good things happen by working with spirits who you have just tormented terribly using your magic power? If you think that's gonna work well, I got news for you. It's a bad idea. But people do it. You know, people practice what they practice. But a lot of the tools for that involve very interesting sigils and signs, some of which you can see in Hell of a Boss. And what is it? Has-Been Hotel. They do actually use some of the actual seals for the demons named in that show. And they'll use those seals as part of the sign to summon those particular individuals. You will have a magical triangle of art, and that triangle is where you are forcing the demon into. Some of the idea I've heard on it is that you're essentially putting on an energy barrier to create a space where that demon can exist, because our normal reality is not their reality, but by putting their reality in that little triangle and putting up a good shield on it, it allows them to kind of pop into our reality and have a good, nice, cozy space for them. It's very similar to Sacred Space, just there is that whole element of force that I'm not real big on. With the seal kind of being your radio tuner for what individual entity you want to have. And you also sit in your own protective circle so that the demon does not chew your face off for tormenting the shit out of it. I just don't like any of this. The only real worth I can see in this method is the psychological primers in your own mind. I will explain rather than leave that in the air. I do think that what we think, what we have in our mind, affects our reality. If you are summoning up a force that involves you having to sit in a protective circle, have a special seal to call them, a special triangle to trap them, that you need to be careful because you can get hurt. What all of that tells to your mind is this is serious and it is powerful. And because you believe it is serious and powerful, it becomes serious and powerful magic. But I do think there's better ways to achieve this than putting yourself at risk by being a douche and calling up these things and tormenting them. It sounds like a bad idea. Bad time. Yeah. So, I don't recommend that technique. We're getting into basics later. If nobody has any very specific questions or anything, I would say when it comes to magical practice of any kind, you start off with the most basic thing of why do you want to do it? And some people would say, like, I hate saying, my reason when I started is basically I wanted to be a superhero. I wanted superpowers. I also may have very much wanted to be able to physically transform my entire body. For no real reason. I'm pretty good, but I can't do that. I cannot upend physics with what I've learned. Wish I could, but I can't. I can do a lot. But those are some of my motivations. And the thing is having motivations like I want money, I want power, etc., is not necessarily a bad thing if it motivates you. However, by practicing magic and getting good at it, what will happen as part of the process is you will be spiritually transformed by it if you ever are getting any better at it. If you're not spiritually transformed by it, you will probably be bad at magic for a very long time because it is an internal and external art. Using it will change you. The process of involvement with it will change you. And hopefully, it changes you into someone more like your best self and less like your worst self. And some of that is doing that internal work. So, having any motive to do is worthwhile. And then once you kind of know why you want to do it, then I would say next you want to look at what you feel called to. And I would be very take your time, but read up on different mythologies or different traditions and look what they believe and see if that's something that resonates with you. I'm not a big nature witch. I say that. I have my own relationship with nature, but I don't do a lot of plants. I'm not real good on plants. I don't feel like nature only. I don't feel like magic only flows from forests and highly natural places. I think magic is everywhere because everything is natural. Everything's part of the universe. So for me, I tend to be a lot more heady, air-based, kind of drawing on the power of the pure cosmos, multiple dimensions, mathematics, high ideals. I'm very, very stuck-up mom, little doggo bomb. I like to full on the high stuff. Honestly, I've been trying to work on my own power without working with many entities. I want to be super self-reliant. I think I'll personally steer clear of Solomonic magic unless I'm in extreme situations with no other choice. Here's the thing, Captain Gazpacho. I've never used... hold on. No, I have never really used Solomonic magic. I've come very close. I did a little bit with trying to use I once did a sigil with a little triangle, but I've never really used Solomonic magic, and I have done a great deal to transform my life, to affect change, to solve problems, and I'll say it's not necessary. Now, if it was something that really called to you, I'd say, yeah, go for it. But considering you want to be self-reliant, things I would recommend. If you're good at creative visualization, I'd do a lot of that. Creative visualization can get you a lot of places. If you can imagine a shape to an energy, energy tends to flow into it. If you can feel it tingling along your skin or in your eyes or smell it in the air, if you can sense it somehow and then visualize it moving, it'll probably move for you. Doing more of that will get you pretty far. So then you get your basic practices in, you learn to cleanse yourself, which has the benefit of clearing out any kind of negative stuff you don't want. Ground yourself so you're connected to the real world, but then also raise your energy so that you're connected to the, still real world, but the, the more ethereal, strange part of it. And by being kind of a bridge for it, you can bring that big spiritual stuff down into your normal material world, and then you can cause change in it. That's important. But you can do a lot of that without calling on an entity. I will say that at some point, you may want to learn to do some work with various entities and things, but I think there is value in practicing all the basics of the art of learning how to do the basics. And when I talk of basics, I mean shield yourself, cleanse yourself, center, learn to, if you can't clear your mind, learn a way to focus your mind. And if you can't focus or clear your mind, find a way to work with that state too. Sometimes you could even up your chaos level, right? If you're doing an ecstatic practice, I'm kind of doing a little of a thing right now. I'll look goofy, but it's okay. So if you're dancing, you can dance, and when that point where you're feeling it, where your body almost is moving of its own accord, you can get lost in the rhythm. When you get lost in your rhythm, that is its own altered state, and you can be in that state and then suddenly bring up what it is you're trying to do, and you can dance out all that energy and be like, I wanna get tacos. Tacos are important to me. You can put all your taco order energy into the universe, and then maybe tonight you get to go to Taco Bell. The point is, though, there's many different ways to alter your consciousness. Use one that works for you. But basics. Because a lot of those basics I talk about are basically getting your spiritual body right, your spiritual defense right, being on that nice, stable, steady footing to connect yourself before you do the work, before you start projecting your energy to cause change. Those basics are important. I think some other good skills are working on your senses. So if you can use visualization or have a feel or a smell or whatever, if you can get magical senses going. Waxes, yes, hi Julia, welcome on in. Do you like them? I think they're cute. They're my hot teacher glasses. I hope they're working. Yes. I should learn to do some ASMR voice. Maybe one day. One day. I think that would be kind of fun. Maybe I'll do that next stream. Next stream is The Lovers. Oh, how. With love in your heart. Maybe next stream will be some ASMR. Thank you for the head tap. Thank you for the head tap. I'm doing good. But, yeah. So, basics. So, senses are important. Energy manipulation, once you got all your defensive stuff, your cleansing, your shielding, your centering and grounding, you know, the ability to project and move around energy. There's a lot of ways to do it. Breath is a very important one, because concentrating on your breathing can be easier than concentrating on your mind. So, like, if you breathe in, like, turn your hands, like, palm up, and try to imagine you're almost pulling a thread or perhaps a ribbon through them, and just take a breath in, and feel energy flow through your palms, down through your wrist, into your arms, and it'll subtly start to move into your chest even a little bit too, into your lungs. So you're just pulling with that breath in. And the energy will start to cycle through your body almost automatically. Just feel where it goes. And then as you breathe out, feel some energy leave. And if you keep doing that, you can kind of build up your energy reserve as you take in a little more and leave it, and a little more stays in, and it cleans out all your channels. And suddenly you're rocking, you know, you're doing real good. Your energy channels are real clear and easy for you to just take in a bunch of energy, big breath. And then let out a little. And you feel really like pumped, you know, you got that extra energy in you, you're ready to run. I'm now gonna read Captain Dispatcher's thing. I just wanted to get through that thought first. It's almost a daily habit for me at this point to meditate and try to clear all my energy of all the hectic negative given energy, then checking up on and reinforcing some protections that I want active all the time, and then maybe a bit of divination, a little bit of practice divination, trying to guess whether a sonic drive-through would be open or not. That's good, Gazpacho. I'm going to give you a very small warning. We're about to hit a little topic that I've hit many times, and it is very important. It's very important, and I'm going to say this. It happens to all of us. It happens to the best of us. There is a topic, and I may have talked about it already, but it's important to me. Because I've taught some people who very much did not internalize this lesson. So if y'all watching and y'all planning on doing magic stuff or already practicing, please listen to me. I am warning you all about the possibility of catching a little bit of megasitis. Now, megasitis, there are things it is and it is not. It is not shaman sickness. That is a different phenomenon. Shaman sickness is a series of illnesses that happen because you're not practicing magic. Could be mental, could be physical, could be a little of both. and it could cause you mental problems. That happens for people who are somehow very naturally attuned to magic. They need to practice, because if they don't, spirits are going to go poke at them until they do, and make them very miserable. But that is a very specific case, a very special case, and most of us don't have to deal with that. But what a lot of us can run into is, as we start growing into our skills, getting more energy, building up more around us, especially if we practice a lot, you'll start to get a sense of hubristic, inflated ego. And I'm going to say this, I think it's a good thing to have it. Because at some point you need that extra boost of confidence. The one that says, I am an all-powerful super mage. I'm going to summon Cthulhu through this portal to destroy my enemy. You know, that whole kind of, you know, my power is beyond reckoning, that feeling. I think it's important to get there. A little controversial. I think it's important to get there. Pride might be a sin in Christianity, but I think you need to have a certain level of confidence in what you can do. And it's a necessary part of the magician's journey. But what can happen is that you'll activate so much energy around you, and you'll get so self-assured because you've gotten such good intuitions, you've gotten so accurate with your divination, you've gotten so strong with your ability to manipulate stuff that you start to lose a little perspective. And that is when you either die a Merlin or live long enough to become a Skeletor. Not exactly, Drea. I got 3 minutes until an ad, but I'm explaining this as best I can in the 2 minutes and 40-something seconds we got. It's that your ego will get real big, and suddenly you'll believe yourself capable of things that you're not. Additionally, because you have excessive energy around you, you might shield and ground real good, but if you do a lot of magic, yeah, I got you, Dre, I got you. If you have excessive magic, it won't really matter. That energy is active in the air. And this is a psycho-reactive energy, you know, very Ghostbusters-y. If you think it's doing something, it's gonna do it. So you might suddenly, you know, you have a lot of extra energy in your environment and you start going like, gee, I'm in a bad mood. And suddenly you feel that angry energy all around you. And you're like, oh gosh, is something mad at me? And then you think maybe it's a demon, and suddenly that energy takes on the form of a demon because you're still controlling it. It's the sock puppet method. You're creating your own demon. So you're like, oh no! There's a demon, it's after me! Oh no! Yeah, you get it, Despacha. You get it. You understand. I'm gonna say this because it's funny in a moment. But I'll keep on topic for just a second, because our ads are going to roll soon. So, yeah, that animated energy starts acting against you. And you can get lost in your own delusions, because suddenly, whatever you think is true, that energy will act to make it true. And you kind of fall under your own curse of your own hubris. It may make you a grand hero in your own story. It might make you a victim. Whatever you're thinking, wherever you're running, it's gonna turn you into that for a bit until you, for lack of a better term, dorm down. Stop doing magic, cut it cold turkey for a bit, and take a second to realize that your life isn't perfect. You're not perfect. You're not the ultra uber mage, or at least, even if you are, you know, you still have to eat food, go to the bathroom, work a job, you know. You need an almost ironic pairing of supreme confidence and supreme humility. And when you put them together, that's the sweet spot. When you realize, I'm all that, but I'm also not. That's the good spot to be in. Okay, ad starting in a couple seconds. So it's gonna be time for maybe a little Lailaps song. When you practice magic, it just might bite us. You'll get a sense of mega stardust. Energy around you follows your mind and makes you alright all the time. I'm the biggest, I'm the baddest. My magic's cool, it is the raddest. No one here could ever harm me except for the army of demons I'm making. Ooh, watch out for Megasitis. Ooh, round it out really tight as. Ooh, I'm gonna say right now. I'm gonna show you how. Bam, 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 bam. If you don't wanna get carried away by your own magic, I've got a note, it's kinda hard and it might seem tragic. Take a break, do some normal things. Take a break, and then you will see that there's a very good chance that it will be. Oh yeah, I do that a lot. I do my improv music when ads go. Although ads going right now. I think I also lost my groove. We're just gonna wait until I get back. I am gonna read Captain Gazpacho's quote though. This is ridiculous. Alright, we're gonna read this amazing thing from Captain Gazpacho. Ahem him ham. Ahem him ham. I'm gonna read it in a voice.
I have seen the first land, where order was born from the eternal sea of chaos. Not even the primordials can stand against me. Throughout heaven and earth, I alone am the honored one.
Yeah, dude. We've all seen the throne of the demiurge and challenged it. What else? I was going to make a Disney villain from Wish.com joke, but I forgot that this is basically the villain from Disney's Wish. I have watched a little bit of that movie. I don't know what I think of it. I've only gotten to see a bit. I've heard some pretty harsh reviews. I think the biggest problem is Wish is just this basically self-worship from Disney Corporation about how cool Disney is. Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, I've heard it's bad, and I've watched a bit, and I'm like, I think maybe some people are giving it a little excessive shit, but I do think there is some very legit criticisms for that thing, and also, I haven't finished it yet. I think the songs were kind of crap. I'll say that. So far, the songs have not impressed me, and yeah, the general idea too seems so like, I don't know, it's so Disney up its own butt.
All I want to do is inspire a generation.
Yeah, okay, old man. What a wish, goodness. But, any other topics people want to bring up? We've harped on one of my favorites, Megasitis. Any other concerns? Any specific things you want to get into? Cause I'm open right now. This is an open format. So I wish the movie would end, and about 90 minutes later it did. Wow, Drea, are you? Hold on, Drea, are you magic? Teach me. How did you do it? Amazing. Thank you so much, Drea. You're so fine. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna try and finish it at some point, but it ain't the top of my list of things to watch. I got a lot of isekai anime to watch. I am a big fan of isekai. I love it so much. It's probably all my escapism and also my desire for power fantasy. Oh, you're fine, Drea. You're fine. It did not bother me whatsoever. Cause the lesson is open. It's an open lesson. It's whatever people want to talk about. Though I'm gonna try and relate back to magic things. Like, let's maybe actually look at Wish a second and think about how it might apply to occult properties and things, because there is something to it. So, for those who haven't seen this movie, and it ain't much to it, it's basically a kingdom where the king can grant wishes because he's a sorcerer. He takes people's wishes from them, and then they forget what their wish is until it gets granted. So, let's be honest, if we take that equivalent into occult properties, that's soul damage. That is essentially taking one of somebody's key soul components, pulling it out and putting it somewhere else. That's aft. I will say, one, most people don't even begin to have the strength to do that. But two, if you do and you did that, oh, I can feel my wrath centers firing up. Don't. Yeah, so our spirit bodies, for lack of a better term, are very flexible. They can do a lot of stuff. They can weather a lot of damage, change a lot of shapes. I would say even utterly eliminating it ain't gonna happen outside of some very godlike activities. Because, we're all infinite in a way. We all echo into eternity. Even if some of us disappears, there's even the memory of us from which we might be revived, right? There's a lot of us. There's a lot to every being that exists. A lot of backup. But the idea of having, a lot of times soul damage comes from trauma, emotional trauma specifically, and you'll have fragmentations. And so when that happens, you may have soul fragments out of your body, and you may have to retrieve them to recover from those traumas. I know some people who've had that kind of thing. One of them, upon the death of their best friend, pretty dark topic, but it happened, they felt their spirit body basically explode. They felt it just, it was like taking a piece out of them. And then slowly but surely over time, they've been putting themselves back together. Because they were just that deeply linked with that friend. They were such a lifeline that when they went, it really broke them on a lot of levels. So they've been spiritually piecing themselves back together. I'm kind of doing that right now, to be honest. I'm definitely have experienced some soul deep damage, and we're all kind of just fusing back together. But when I think about Wish, yeah, there's something to that I go, yeah, no, you shouldn't take your fondest dreams and your core personality traits and separate them out and entrust them to someone else just to forget about them, because it's stupid. I don't care if there's a chance your fondest dream comes true. If you forget it, is it really even yours anymore? The part of you that wants it goes with it. So if that's the case, you're just surrendering part of your critical function. And the idea that this dude might occasionally be like, I grant you back your whole self with benefits? Nah. Nobody should have that authority. Punch him in the dick. Yeah. I'll just keep training until I have passive countermeasures against any malicious energy and act as a beacon to positive energy. In my worst moods, I will make the world and life stable around me. I will become good fortune. Okay, I can see that. Now let's maybe we could talk about luck a little bit. Luck and fortune and things like that. So, and luck magic, which I luckily had a teacher tell me a little bit about. I'm not particularly good at it myself because of a variety of different reasons, but good luck has a way of kind of pooling around people. It is a corrective, a softener from the harshness of reality. It is not your fate. Your fate takes you where your fate takes you, but by having good luck around you, it eases a lot of the stresses of life to ensure that fate occurs. It prepares fate. So, how do you make luck work for you? It's a lot of different things, but one thing is if you have something and you believe it's lucky, it will be. So, kind of letting luck pull into things. The other thing is making sure that your fate is good in accordance with other people. So, fate can be both communal and individual, and very much a little destiny guided. So, if you want to have good luck, honor commitments you have. If you swear an oath to do something, do it. Because not doing it will cause you great spiritual damage. Yeah, the only time I would say that you should break a thing like that is if you had something that was a dealing in bad faith. Then it's kind of or based on things you later find to be falsehoods. Then you can kind of do that. Let me empower myself by drawing wealth from your collective desires. Walt Disney, villain of Wish. Oh god, I mean, kind of, yeah. Sort of fucked. But yeah, so if you want to be very good fortune, 1, believe yourself to be lucky. 2, if you have lucky things, keep them. 3, do not squander your good luck. This is a tip I learned, and it's kind of weird, and it's gonna sound odd, but I'm gonna tell you it seems to follow that it works. Your luck is your luck. Your luck can be good and your luck can be bad, but it is luck. It is what it is. When your luck is bad, go gamble. And you're gonna be like, Lailaps, that's the opposite of a good idea. And I'm gonna go, and here's why you do it. Because using luck on gambling is like a huge probability shift, right? You put in a coin into a machine, you say, give me that 1 in 1,000 odds. A ton of luck gets used up trying to alter that, rather than having it around for the small good things that are important, like, ooh, I got my parking spot that got me into my restaurant just on time. Ooh, you know, it's lucky I found a little bit of change that let me pay this tiny little bit of extra on a fee, or ooh, you know, because of the weather, I was just able to avoid an accident. There's a bunch of different things. It's a bunch of different things your luck can get used on, right? And but using it on stuff that is highly improbable, like gambling, uses it up. It sucks up your luck. So if your luck is bad, gamble a little, and it'll suck all that bad luck out, and then you have room and good luck comes back in to replace it. Or at least that's the idea. So it's kind of like a grounding and cleansing ritual for your luck. You put that luck into that coin, you're like, I don't care what the result is, mwah, it's gone. It's going there, big money, no whammy. And then maybe you don't get it back, but you don't get that bad luck back. I don't know, your day is blessed and great. So that's a little tip. It's a little tip I learned. So yeah, keep good lucky things around you. Spend up your bad luck on gambling and things so that you don't have it anymore. You can make room for good luck. What's some other ones? I'd say stay positive. And I would also say that if your fate, if you feel your fate out, you know, if you're like, I need to do X and not Y, and you can feel it's something not good for you, try to work with your fate rather than against it. Because what can happen is when you want something super bad, you can kind of force it to happen magically. But if it moves you further from your like good destiny, the good things in your life, it can cause those to snap. It destroys the relationship you might have had with something, whether that's a person, a place, your job, whatever. And then that extra broken up bit will become like a new luck, but it can become what is called, what was dubbed from the person who taught me, anti-luck. And it's bad crap because it creates false connections, false stuff, and it gets you what you want, but you pay the price in damage to the rest of the good things in your life. You don't want that. So try to work with your fate, not against it, if you can feel it out. And a lot of times that means doing the kind of work that lets you really know the core of yourself. This is why that internal magic, that self magic stuff is so important, because doing magic to get things you want, that's your intent, putting it out there and trying to make something happen. But knowing what your intentions are and why is a vital component, because when your heart is true, when you know who you really are on the inside and what you're about, then things don't stop you as much. You know? When you're like, this is who I am, I'm not gonna stop being who I am. Doesn't matter who's telling me to be a different way. I'm always gonna be who I am. And when you really believe in something, you're willing to stand up for it. Fight for it. And that's the thing. So knowing yourself is a source of that kind of strength. And when you have that kind of will and discipline towards, no, this is what is, this is who I am, and I am making that statement on the universe, it's hard to stand in the way of that. That's a pretty capital, that's capital P power there to have. I've run myself out of water. Oh no. So, yeah, highly recommend doing that internal work to ask yourself the hard question of who am I? What do I really want in this world? And sometimes you can explore that in different ways. You might do tarot cycle stuff like I've been doing with these streams where I'm moving through the tarot cycle. Like I said, next one's gonna be the lovers. I might do an ASMR. I might do some ASMR, I might be lovey-dovey, or I might talk about love spells. Those are important. There's not a lot to say about them, but I can probably spin on that a little. About ethical versus non-ethical ways of doing that, their history, why people use them, the wrong way to use them, the right way to use them, all that. We'll see. We'll see what we do next time. So yeah. ASMR Arcana? I'm not practiced. Yeah, I'm not Lailaps. Gavin down. Hold on, I'm gonna turn off this music. Hello, everyone. I don't know how to do this. How is everyone doing today? I'm gonna crinkle something for crinkle's sake. Okay, now that I've done that, is that irritating or good for you? I need to know, otherwise I'm gonna stop. But yeah, everyone, I'm looking forward to trying. Looking forward to trying things. Trying new stuff. Good stuff. Stuff that makes you happy and me happy. And more magic stuff is something I think is good to teach. And the more I know about what you want to learn, the more I can provide. It's true. I'm not quite ready to end stream yet, but as we've not had many questions, all I can really do is rant and ramble about whatever it is I want to talk about. Check, make sure I've not missed any messages. I don't see any. Oh boy, that's a big one. Give me a moment. Oh yeah, I just remembered something that happened a few days ago. So I had a dream that I was walking down a highway that connects to the road I live on. And at some point, I looked up and saw a sky full of unnaturally bright blue stars. Ooh. Then there was a meteor shower, then a comet crash landed far to the north of my town. Then the next day I meditated on it. And I had a vision where I was in a cemetery talking to my late grandma. She told me that I had grown strong and that I'd broken free of the negativity that was passed down by my family. Oh, it's wonderful. You know, funny, we talked about Wish, and it sounds almost like you had some shooting stars, and I'm like, wish upon a star, and I can kind of see the idea that, yeah, you know, the stars fell, and, huh. There's also a part of me that's like, so what's to the north of your town? Because I would think that was a sign pointing towards the north of your town. What's north of there? Because I might become interested in what that was if I had a dream kind of pointing me in that direction. That's what my brain says. It's what my brain says as soon as I interpret that. But yeah, I can see that's wonderful to hear that you've outgrown the negativity passed down in your family. Ah, no, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. I don't think I've had many magic dreams lately. I've had a few in my life. I've had some pretty bitchin' nightmares too. I used to have dreams about the xenomorph from Aliens when I was a teenager all the time. And sometimes it was chasing me, and sometimes I was the xenomorph chasing people. It was kind of crazy. It was pretty crazy dreams. Hmm. I'm gonna take just a short break to go get some water. But if you have questions, go ahead and throw them in the chat, and I will try to answer them when I come back. We're gonna go do a little thing for the right back screen. I'll be right back. Okay. looking at your message. So, in the north, there was a cemetery. It's also the direction the highway takes to your town. Where the college you graduated from is the same as your brother and your parents and even one of your grandparents. And it's super cloudy. Oh, sorry. I had to walk up and down some stairs. I'm a little out of breath. I'm a tired little doggo. I'm sorry. I did not mean to smite you all. I'm so sorry. I pressed some buttons. They did something different than I meant for them to. I was trying to do this. But I pressed them and I was on the OBS screen that decided, I got you. Crush them. Ridiculous. But yeah, that's interesting. You talk about the end of negativity and then it's pointing towards education. You know, I think there's something interesting about that. You know, kind of pointing out as the stars go, your dreams, your aspirations may be in learning, or you're on that path already. Hope you're doing real good, Gazpacho. You sound like you're doing a lot of work and making a lot of progress, so good on you. Bark, woof, woof, woof. I was thinking about maybe doing a little energy experiment if anybody's willing. One of the most basic energy work things people do is an experiment where they take their hands together and they make a little ball of energy. Okay? So I am proposing a potential experiment where I am going to try and pass the ball to you and anyone who might be watching in the future. And then I would like you to try and pass it back. Does that sound like fun? I think that would be fun. So, okay. I'm going to try and get it so the visual of El Doggo me kind of matches up a little with what we're about to do. Let's see how I can T-pose. Okay. Actually, you know what? I don't think my T-pose is what I need. I think I need power. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Oh, my glasses look really weird with this mode. Let's just move them up a little bit. That's better. That's better. They look a little less weird that way. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm extending. Here. I'm going up close. I'm gonna put my energy into the screen, and I'm gonna try and send a ball of energy to all of you at home who are willing to catch it. Okay, here it comes. Okay, get ready, catch it. Okay, I'm gonna let you hold the energy ball for a little bit. You have any kind of feelings on it? Let me know. Have any particular feelings one way or the other? Mind you, I understand that for some of you, you might be watching this in the future. You won't be able to share your feelings right now, but you could put comments on the video. Now, I'm going to give it a little tiny bit more. It isn't quite time to take it back yet, but see what you feel. See if you felt anything. If you didn't, that's okay too. This is an experiment. We are seeing if I can push this energy out here to travel across space and time to whoever's seeing it. And then have them receive that energy, and then I'm be able to give it back. Okay, so I'm going to put my hands back up. And, okay, now, try very gently hold your ball up push it towards your screen, even if it's a little phone screen. Just pass it through, and I'm gonna try and feel you handing it off. Hey, thank you. Thank you for giving it back. I'm gonna depart the screen. Set this energy down for a second. Trying to get my impression, see what it is I feel y'all have done to the energies I'm giving you. Oh gosh, I look weird. But no, there's glasses in the middle. I don't. Yeah, I like that better. I look a little sillier that way. I like this better. Okay, so it's very warm. It's very glowy. I think maybe how it was sent out, but it felt bigger when it came back, almost as if everybody bringing it back to me was all putting their own power into it. So thank you for that gift, doing this with me. Now, if I were in real life, what I would do is I'd have people pass it from person to person, and maybe one day we'll do something like that in a Discord call or something. But this is right now a potentially even entirely remote from time period kind of thing. But thank you so much for participating in that, those who did. Or even those who did not, or those who might in the future. Whoa, spooky. Mm-hmm. I don't have too much more to go on here that I don't think would constitute an entire class in and of itself. I'm not feeling a guided meditation or any specific things like that, though I might do one in the near future. And I know we haven't been together all that long. It's only been an hour and 36 minutes, which in streamer time might as well have been like 25 minutes. Streamer time, that's nothing, baby. You're supposed to go for 3 hours minimum. Yeah, we just gotta entertain people for the length of a movie plus, like, you know, like a movie and a half at minimum, and that's a short stream for a lot of people. You gotta go at least 6 hours. You know what I mean? It's kind of funny how much is expected of us. It's kind of funny how much is expected. But alright, I have had a great time teaching about various things and, passing off energy and talking about stuff with all of you. Thank you all so much for being here. But I think, unless there's anything specific people really want to know about, people really want to learn, or people really want to try, I think it's about time to shuffle on and see the rest of Twitch.tv. Or perhaps some other place. But, we're gonna take a look out there. See who's on, see who's around, see who might be willing to receive our rather eclectic group of modern practitioners. Whether that be another VTuber or someone else. Ooh. It might be time for me to raid someone I've never raided before. Let me check this person just once. I wanna check on someone I've not raided to before, but they seem pretty fun. Kind of a gremlin. I've seen some of their more funny little videos. Their self-description is very small. It's very small. But it looks pretty cool. I think, just for funsies, because they seem interesting, and I'm not thinking, we're going to check out somebody I've never gone to before. We are going to visit Tommy the Bull. Tommy spelled with an I. Tommy's design is very cute. And they're kind of a gremlin, so we're gonna see how that goes. So let's just go ahead. We're gonna raid. Actually, before I do that, though, I do want to be, open on what's going on as far as like what I'm planning on doing stream wise, etc. Yeah, next week will probably be, like I said, it's the lovers. I might do an ASMR stream, but I'm not sure it's my thing. I might talk about love spells. I might try something entirely different. I'm not sure yet, but that is the theme. If unless something changes, I'm gonna do my best to be there. Okay. All right. So we're gonna go raid Tommy the Bull, and I think our message will be. What kind of message do we want to do for our raid? Hmm. Hmm. Let's just say magical doggo raid. I think that's pretty simple, straightforward, and a lot of fun. Thank y'all so much for being here. I had a great time teaching. I hope everybody had a good time. I'll see you later. Okay, thanks. Bye.